Hello, first hour. This is Mr. Yoder. Just wanted to touch base with you guys. After our first couple days of e-learning, I hope you guys are adjusting well. Yesterday, you guys took that Module 11 pretest. You guys did the quizzes, everything like that to be preparing for this Module 11 quiz. And today you are going to be taking it. So I want to take this time to review a little bit for you guys, just a couple of things, because I know with this week kind of being in flux, maybe you've forgotten some stuff, so I want to review a little bit before you guys take that quiz today. So let's go ahead and go over a couple of examples. So this is just a definition of transversals. Remember, a transversal is a line that intersects two lines in the same plane at two different points. So you've got two parallel lines here, line A here and line B are both parallel, and then line T intersects both those lines at two different points here. This T is called the transversal. Okay, you'll notice that the transversal, when it intersects these two lines, it forms 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 angles. Okay, now there's a couple of different angle pairs that you need to remember. For example, corresponding angles are angles that lie on the same side of the transversal, so either the right or the left side, and on the same sides of line A and B. So it could be on the top side or on the bottom side of each line A and B. Okay. So for example, basically if you were to take this intersection and slide it down so that it overlaps with this intersection, the numbers that would be on top of each other are considered corresponding. So for example, 2 and 6 are corresponding. 4 and 8 are corresponding. 1 and 5, 3 and 7. Corresponding angles are congruent angles, so they're going to be the exact same angle measurement. Alternate interior angles are non-adjacent angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal T between lines A and B. So you want to think about what are the interior angles. Okay. Well, the word interior basically just means inside, right? So the interior angles are the ones that are in between those two parallel lines. The exterior angles are the ones that are on the outside. So these are on the outside. Okay, the interior are inside. Alternate interior are basically the ones that are on the interior and on opposite sides of the transversal. So 3 and 6, those are alternate interior angles. 4 and 5, those are alternate interior angles as well. Okay. Alternate exterior, same thing except on the exterior now. So 1 and 8, okay, those are alternate exterior. And then 7 and 2, those are also alternate exterior angles. Okay, and then same side interior would be 4 and 6, 3 and 5. Okay. All right, next example. It says, what is the value of x? So we've got two different angles that are given here, 3x and 4x plus 19. Okay, now you got to think about, are these congruent or are they going to be supplementary? Well, if we take 3x and we slide it down so that these intersections match up, this 3x is going to come right here. It's corresponding with this angle. Okay. So since they're not overlapping, okay, this angle and this angle are supplementary, right? These angles form a supplementary pair, which means they add up to 180 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these together. So we're going to do 3x plus this angle, 4x plus 19, and set it equal to 180. By the way, I'm sorry that my mousemanship is not very good right now. It's hard to write with your mouse, so just bear with me. We're going to now add together our like terms. So 3x and 4x, that's 7x. And then we've got the plus 19 left over. And then that's equal to 180. Now we're going to subtract 19. This is just a normal two-step equation now. So now we have 7x equals 180 minus 19, which is 161, and then we divide by 7 on both sides, and we get x equals 161 divided by 7. That is 23, which is this answer right here. Okay, so x is equal to 23. If we wanted to find out what this angle is, then we would take 23 and plug it in for x right there. So it'd be 3 times 23. If we wanted to find what this angle is, we'd take 23, plug it in for x right there. Okay? All right, next example. Here we want to find out what the value of x is. So again, we want to compare this angle with this angle. Well, if I were to take this angle and slide it down, it would land right here in this angle right here. So we have to think, what's the relationship between this angle and this angle? Well, we know those two form a straight line. They're supplementary. So what does that mean they add up to? 180 degrees. Okay. So again, we're going to add these two together and set it equal to 180. So 3x and 5x is 8x. And then 2 plus 10 is 12. So 8x plus 12, those equal 180 degrees. Now you'd solve it like a normal two-step equation. So subtract 12, then divide by 8. Okay? This one says find the measure of the angle indicated. Hopefully you remember, what do all three angles of a triangle add up to? Hopefully you remember that they add up to 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle equals 180. So 75 plus 39 plus, we'll call this x, equals 180. Add these two together, 75 plus 39, that would be 114 plus x equals 180. And then you subtract 114 on both sides. X then is equal to 180 minus 114, which is 66. So it would be that right there. Okay, so triangles always add up to 180. Okay, here it says solve for x, then find the degrees for angle A. So to solve for x, you're going to take all these and add them up, set it equal to 180. So we want to add up all our x's first. So we've got x and x right here. That's 2x. And then we've got 59 plus 51 plus 84. 59 plus 51 would be 110. 110 plus 84 is 194, I think. Okay, that equals then 180. Then you're going to subtract 194 from both sides. 194. And you get 2x equals 180 minus 194 is negative 14. Now you might think, and then we'll just divide by 2 to finish it off, and you get x equals negative 7. Now you might think, Mr. Yoda, you can't have a negative degree, right? Well, you're right, you can't have a negative degree, but just because x is negative 7, x is negative, that doesn't mean that the actual degrees will be negative. Okay, so x is negative 7, but to find the actual degrees, we take our negative 7 and we plug it in for x right here, right? So this one is 84, that one's given. Negative 7 plus 59, that's 52 degrees. And then negative 7 plus 51, that would be 44 degrees. Okay? So the angles, once you plug in x, the angles don't end up being negative. They all end up being positive. Okay? All right, this one says, what's the measure of angle B? Okay, so we want this angle right here. Okay, now one thing hopefully you remember, so you've got this exterior angle right here. Exterior angle is always equal to the sum of its remote interior angles. These two angles right here are both remote to this exterior angle. So we want 81 plus B is equal to 117 degrees. Okay, Then to find b, again, we're just going to subtract 81 from both sides. And you get b, ooh, that's a bad b. B equals 117 minus 81, which is 36. Okay? So angle B is 36. And then the last example, the triangles are similar, says solve for the question mark. So we want to solve for this side right here, this long side. Now you'll notice again there's two triangles. There's a small triangle right here, and then there's a big triangle right here. Okay? To solve this, we want to use this proportion. We want small side over small base equals big side over big base. Okay, so we're going to set up a proportion here. So first, let's look at the small side. Here's the small triangle. Now you might think, which one of these is the side and which one's the base? It doesn't really matter. Okay, you can choose which one you want as the side and which one you want as the base. So we'll say that this is the side right here. So that's the small side over the small base, which is 12. And then that's equal to the big side, which is 15, over the big base. That's our question mark. That's what we're trying to solve for. So we're going to cross multiply here to solve for this. And I'm going to make this x just to make this easier. So 10 times x is 10x. And then 12 times 15, let's see, that'd be 174, I think. Is that right? 12 times 15, no, it'd be 180. 180. Okay, and then to solve for x, we'll just divide by 10. And x equals 18. So this big side right here is equal to 18. Okay? All right, so that's all we got for today. One thing I would recommend is that you make sure that you write down that proportion formula that we just did here on this slide right here. Okay? Again, make sure if you've taken any notes over this module, you can use those on the test. You can use your book. You can use a calculator. Okay? Use the resources that you're given to help you on this. Okay? Good luck on this quiz. If you have any questions, just let me know. Send me an email, joyoder@bps.k12.in.us, and hopefully you do well. Have fun.